If you're watching this on the day it goes up, I just want to say that I am also disappointed that this isn't my Christmas episode. If they had released it 1 week earlier, it would have been. I guess it just wasn't meant to be. You might notice that there's a lot of companies on the front of the box for Die Hard. It's licensed from Activision, it was programmed by Pack-In Video, and released by Nichibutsu, or Nihon Busan if you want to use their other name. And of course there's 20th Century Fox as the movie studio. The way the path goes is Activision licensed the video game rights, then Pack-In Video made a video game for the PC Engine, but for whatever reason Pack-In Video couldn't release it themselves, and so Nichibutsu handled the publishing and distribution. Pack-In Video would go on to develop the Famicom port of Activision's Commodore 64 Die Hard game, and Pack-In Video would release it themselves in Japan. All I can say here is that licensing can make for some really strange bedfellows sometimes. Die Hard, of course, is the beloved Christmas movie about an estranged man who goes to his wife's office Christmas party, and then through a series of wacky misunderstandings, winds up dropping $600 million onto the streets of LA. For the PC Engine, that movie has been translated to 12 stages of top-down run-and-gun. You start out in the jungles surrounding downtown Los Angeles, making your way past the various bunkers. Then you'll have to find your way through the treacherous swamps of Southern California, feeling your way through the maze of reeds. Then you'll finally reach the skyscraper Nakatomi Plaza, and have to climb your way to the top. Or you skip most of the floors. That setting for the first few stages is so odd that you might think that Pack-In Video had another game in development and then slapped the Die Hard name on it. And apparently, it actually was. Die Hard was being developed under the title Escape, and it was themed around escaping from prison. While there are bosses in the game, there are only 3 of them, which means that for most stages, you'll just reach the end and get a stage clear message. While you're running around, button 2 attacks, and you start out unarmed, which means you'll punch. Maybe 20% of the enemies in the game drop the weapon that they're using, so it doesn't take long for you to pick up something that you can shoot with. Use button 1 to jump, and you have to be off the ground to hit people who are in elevated positions. Now you'll still get hit by anything that crosses your path, so jumping over attacks isn't as straightforward as it might seem. Mainly you'll use the ability to hit people who are on ledges and to jump over holes. The weapons that you get have limited ammunition, but there's more than enough that you won't run out before you get either another copy of that same weapon, or just another weapon to use. There's a rifle that can fire 1 bullet at a time, an assault rifle that will fire 5 bullets at a time, a grenade launcher that shoots a short range but then has a big explosion, and finally a flamethrower. Flamethrower is a little stuttery, but it's still pretty effective to just hold down the fire button and sweep it through crowds. Naturally, there are also health pickups, bottles of beer, soda, something. Will restore 2 points of health, and first aid kits fully restore your health bar. You can also get a blue tank top that will absorb a few hits for you. You only have 1 life in Die Hard, so when the energy bar runs out, it's game over. It's also game over if the timer runs out, and because most of the stages are mazes, that's actually more of a threat than it might seem. You start out with 4 continues, and every time you advance the stage, you have 4 continues. You don't get an extra one. It's not something that you pick up, it's just you're on the next stage and now you have 4 continues again. For the most part, it's relatively easy to avoid attacks, but falling down any hole is instantly fatal. And the bosses are real damage sponges who will put up shields to block your incoming attack until they're attacking, and it can be tough to find a gap in their attack patterns. I have to call out the 3rd stage as an absolutely terrible bit of level design. It's a maze of doors. You go through a long hallway, which you can't backtrack in, and at some point you get your choice of 2 paths, and one of them will advance you toward the end of the stage. The thing is, the wrong way has a fairly deep, bad path, about 5 of these sections deep. So if you choose the wrong path at the very beginning, then you'll be exploring a very large network of wrong ways. It doesn't help that the areas can look pretty much the same, so you'll have to sit there going, did I already go down this path or not? It's way more annoying than the stage where they block your view most of the time, or the stage where the floor constantly drops out from underneath you. There's one more notable thing in Die Hard, and that's the cutscenes that occasionally happen. It looks like the images were copied straight from the movie, except they didn't have likeness rights for Bruce Willis, and that makes some of the redrawn faces look a little bit off. From what I could find, Japanese players seem to be relatively positive on Die Hard, though they're just as quick as everyone else to point out that it doesn't really have that much to do with the movie. My own take is a little bit more reserved. Die Hard is a real case of a, it's fine kind of game. The action is functional, the weapons are functional, the enemies are functional. The really big misstep in the game is that the level design isn't very good. The thing is, there's really nothing that stands out either. The most interesting part of the game for me is this boss fight where he shoots out the floor underneath you. Die Hard winds up being a competently made, but not really outstanding game. If it wasn't for the license, then it just would have been forgotten entirely.